At 14:38 local time, the Arabian Sea was quiet. The USS Spruance had been on patrol for hours, watching a scattered group of fishing boats drift across the water. Nets in the ocean, engines idling, nothing unusual, until one of them moved. It broke formation suddenly, engines roaring to full power, cutting straight through the cluster like it had somewhere to be. And in that moment, everything changed. Because that wasn't a fishing boat. It was a fast attack craft, carrying anti-ship missiles, and heading straight for the USS Abraham Lincoln, and the crew had seconds to figure that out. The radar operator saw it first. A small contact accelerating fast, too fast for anything civilian. Within seconds, the tactical action officer made the call before full confirmation even came through. Weapons were already moving. Up front, the 5-inch gun swung toward the target, guided by a fire control system designed to predict exactly where a target will be when the shell arrives. Wind, waves, ship movement, everything calculated in real time. But there was one problem. The target wasn't steel, it was fiberglass. Instead of a clean radar return, the signal flickered, blending into the ocean itself. Every wave distorted the tracking. The system needed stable data, and it wasn't getting it. Still, the gun fired. 3 seconds of flight time. And in those 3 seconds, the boat had already moved. The shell slammed into the water behind it, close enough to send a wall of spray over the hull, but not enough to stop it. Another shot, another miss. Everything was working exactly as designed, and it still wasn't enough. Then the situation got worse. Classification came in. Missiles. 2 of them. Sea skimming, fast enough to give the carrier just seconds to react, and the boat was closing fast. At that speed, it had just over a minute before it could fire. The gun kept firing, but the math wasn't on their side. Every miss bought the attacker more distance, more time. And suddenly, the ship's most powerful weapon wasn't the answer anymore. So the TOW made a call that changed everything. Cease fire! Launch the helicopter. The MH-60R had already been spinning. The moment the order came, it lifted off. No hesitation. It dropped low over the water, pushing forward at full speed. Within seconds, the sensors locked on. Through infrared, the target lit up against the cold ocean like a flare. No guesswork, no lost tracking, just a clear, glowing target. The pilot steadied the aircraft, laser on, and fired. The Hellfire missile didn't chase where the boat was. It followed exactly where it would be. Every movement, every turn, matched instantly. The boat tried to evade. It didn't matter. Seconds later, it was gone. Not damaged, not disabled, gone. For a moment, it looked like the threat was over. It wasn't, because that boat wasn't the attack. It was the test. And somewhere nearby, 2 more had already broken away. They were moving fast, heading straight toward the Iranian coastline. Not attacking, escaping. And that's when it became clear. The first boat wasn't meant to succeed. It was meant to trigger a response, to draw fire, to reveal exactly how the US would react. And it worked. Now the real operation was unfolding. High above, someone else had been watching the entire time. An A-10 Warthog. 4 hours into a quiet patrol, doing nothing. Until now. The pilot picked up the fleeing boats almost instantly. 2 heat signatures tearing across the water. And he had a choice. Destroy them now, or follow them and find out where they came from. He chose to follow. The boats led him straight to the coastline. And then, something unexpected happened. One of them slowed, then disappeared. Not into the water, into the rock. A hidden opening carved into the cliffside, barely visible unless you knew where to look. An underground base, completely concealed. And suddenly, the mission wasn't about boats anymore. It was about what was hiding inside that mountain. But there wasn't time to think. The second boat was seconds away from reaching the same entrance. And now, defenses were waking up. A missile system locked onto the A-10. 8 seconds. That's all it needed to fire. Too fast to outrun, too dangerous to ignore. So the pilot did the only thing that made sense. He flew straight into it. Dropping low, hugging the coastline, using the terrain to break radar lock again and again. Seconds of visibility, seconds of cover. Resetting the clock every time, closing the distance, lining up the shot. The boat was right there, slowing, almost safe. The gun spun up and fired. A 1-second burst, and the boat didn't just stop, it disintegrated. But the danger wasn't over. A missile launched from the cliffs. No warning, no alarm, just a streak of heat rising fast. The pilot reacted instantly. Flares dropped. Bright, hotter than the engines themselves. The missile hesitated, then turned, chasing the flare instead, detonating harmlessly behind him. Close, but not close enough. And then came the final move. The wingman lined up on the tunnel entrance, locked on, and fired. The missile didn't just hit the opening, it hit the mountain, cracking the structure, triggering a collapse. Tons of rock came down, sealing the entrance completely. Everything inside, trapped, gone without another shot. From first contact to final strike, it took just 11 minutes. 4 decisions, every one of them critical, and every one of them right. Because in the end, it wasn't speed that won, it wasn't firepower, it was patience, it was timing, and it was a machine that refuses to leave the fight. The A-10 doesn't win by being fast, it wins by staying. If this kept you on the edge of your seat, subscribe for more real-world military breakdowns. Like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.